me, Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. You might be watching us on Twitch. You might be watching us on YouTube, but you are at least watching us. So thanks for that. This is the Secrets of Hammerfast stream. We play D&D 5th edition here, and we have sort of a pretty fun time, actually. You might recognize some of the faces with me, and you might not recognize some of the faces with me. We do apologize for our technical difficulties, but Ziganut will be unable to join us in visually tonight. But spiritually and mentally, emotionally, he's with us all. Anyways, as I mentioned, we're playing some D&D 5th edition. This is our 13th episode, Lucky 13. So that's pretty cool. And the beginning of chapter 3 for us. We're back with our heroes, some amazing players playing some amazing characters. And you don't have to take my word for it. Let me introduce you to them now. We have Kelsey playing Callie. Welcome back, Kelsey.
Hi.
Hi. What can you
Hi.
tell us about Callie?
So Callie is a halfling rogue, and she likes to be sneaky. She grew up in the streets and sort of looks like a street urchin still. Tattered leather. She has green eyes and braided hair, and she throws playing cards as her weapon of choice. So look out, Gambit.
Not only that, she has some tricks up her sleeve because she is able to cast a few spells here and there, isn't she?
She picked up some magic tricks along the way, some real ones. And beyond that, she also just cast Find Familiar, and her faithful companion Rimpleton the teacup pig is now also her familiar.
Yes, officially now her familiar. Rimpy
Mm-hmm.
has been with us since our first episode. He's been prancing along with the group, and I think that sort of makes Callie and Rimpy sort of the most senior members of the group right now, which is a weird sort of feeling. Though Alaron, I guess we'll get to him soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
But let's turn to our other character, another character, our next character, played by Thomas. Thomas, thanks for joining us again. We had you at the end of last season, or rather last chapter, and it's so nice to have you back. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Great to be
Yeah,
playing D&D, having fun with everybody.
yeah, totally. And what can you tell us about Elio, please?
Elio is simpler than he thinks he is. He is a fire genasi cleric of the sun, and for him it's all about spreading light and spreading truth and burning away evil. And in the past, but they've just had a rather significant victory. Diplomacy that went all right, so he's feeling pretty good about things.
That's awesome. Uh,
Her physical appearance, if you need to picture it, he is a red-skinned, bald fire genasi with flashing eyes that sort of sparkle when he gets excited, which is most of the time. And he's received from the court of the Summer Fae, and that's always on fire. It's purely cosmetic, but it's distracting, and um, everybody but me likes it. So, fashion
Fashion. Love it. And we, who is that guy who just joined us? I thought that guy was Stone. No, we actually we've just been joined by Alaron. We're introducing our characters, and Anthony is joining us once again. How's it going, Anthony?
Good, good. How's it going, everyone?
Going good. Thanks. Glad you could make it and join us. What can you tell us about Alaron? Actually, we were just introducing our characters. Alaron has been with the group since the beginning. What can you tell us about the character?
Other than him currently being a statue, he's statuesque. He's tall for half elf, bronze skin, uh, handsome. Yes, devilishly so. No, not quite. He's all right. He's
very chiseled features.
he's a strong guy though, and he's also very fast. And he's most of the time when he's not encased in stone.
Most of the time.
He wears chainmail and carries a rapier.
A rapier?
Uh, rapier. and he's a bit of a duelist. He knows his way around battle.
Yes, love it. Awesome. And we also have a guest star joining us tonight. We're joined by Jesse, and Jesse's playing Ziganute. Thanks for joining us, Jesse.
Oh yeah, right. You were very welcome. You're
No,
very welcome.
already in character.
I mean, yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited.
What can you tell us about Ziganute?
Well, Ziganute, he's a simple Kautoa. He cares about his people above all. He's an archpriest, um, and his people worship an ancient one, a very secret entity that he believes very deeply in.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And so recently, the group has made
We have a deal,
a
right?
deal. Exactly. They've made a deal with Ziganute and his followers. Last time, our heroes were able to defeat the Trout Queen, the tyrant of Id Othramel, the underwater castle in which we find our characters. They had been seeking out this castle underneath Lake Glimmer, the Glimmer Lake, which we can see represented most beautifully on our Roll20 screen. And they had descended below the waters seeking out a dwarf named Glitter Dark. They found a castle underneath the waters, and there it was ruled by the tyrant of the trout folk, this queen, who was not of the trout folk, but instead was a fey creature that had been controlling them. Your group had allied themselves with Ziganute and his warriors to defeat the Trout Queen, and that you were able to succeed in last session. Um, Also, though, you lost your longtime companion, Snorri the Ghost Dwarf, as he seemed to sacrifice himself in the contest with Trout Queen. If you'll remember, the Trout Queen looked like this. I will show you what she looked like. Oh, and here's what Ziganute looks like, everybody, just to remind you. Ziganute looks like a really awesome Koatoa, and he is imposing, charismatic, and just, a powerful figure amongst his people. The queen, however, let's take a look at what she looked like. The Sea Queen had a number of mirrors that were behind her, the Trout Queen, as it were. And she had ensorcelled, it seemed, the sort of spirits of different people in these mirrors. One of the spirits that were within was that of Glitterdark, the dwarf, which you freed, Callie, by destroying the mirror. Um, uh, the contests between your group and the Trout Queen did end up claiming the ghost Snorri, and you haven't seen him since. He went into the ethereal plane, as did the Trout Queen, and then outwardly, what you could see, it looked as if two magical clouds were sort of storms were fighting each other, and then they both exploded in sort of this show of power. It's been about a week since that time. The trout folk that were loyal to the queen have fled and descended into the dungeons of the castle. Your group hasn't really gone there, but Ziganute's warriors have been watching that entryway. Additionally, your group saw a lot of treasure in the Trout Queen's uh, throne room, in her receiving room. Much of it was taken away by her followers, but a lot of it your group was able to collect as well. And at this point, I'm going to need all of you to roll some dice for me, please. I'm going to need all of you to roll 2d6 for me, please. As you guys have been sort of going through the treasure, it's mostly gems and coin, also some jewelry as well. There hasn't been anything magical that you found as yet. This just seems to be a lot of precious materials. Uh, What did you get, Callie?
3.
A mighty 3.
Yes.
Awesome. And how about for you, Alaron?
I got an 8.
Nice. And for you, Elio?
A 5.
A 5. And Ziganute, how many did you get?
I got it was 2, right? 2d6.
Yes,
I
that's
got
right.
11.
Whoa!
I got
11.
11.
Nice.
Powerful first roll.
11.
Nice.
I love it. Very good. So, effectively, that's how many 50 gold piece gems you each have found. The gems that you're finding are pearls and sapphires. You can choose how many of each you have. Uh, the reason because of your disparity is there was sort of a feeding frenzy in the treasure. All of the trout folk were leaping on it and trying to get some treasure from the queen's hoard, as was your group. So that was sort of what you're able to grab in terms of gems. In terms of coin, though, I need you both to roll, or everyone rather, to roll D100s.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes. What would you get, Callie?
35.
Ooh, not bad. And for you, Alaron?
49.
Ooh, and for you, Elio?
15.
And for you, Ziganute?
51.
Nice. That's how many platinum pieces you all find. These platinum pieces seem to be stamped with an ancient sort of symbol, or rather, they were stamped a long time ago. And but the symbol seems to be a Fey rune. Elio, you recognize it as a symbol of a minor noble house from the Summer Court.
I will spare you all the Fey Rune who's on first.
However, you were able to find, luckily, a scroll of stone to flesh amongst the treasures. And with that, you're able to return your friend Alaron from his petrified state to join all of you. You have cleared for the most part the main levels of the castle. The only parts of the castle that have not been cleared out or taken over by Ziganute's forces are the Fey Tower, where you have heard a Fey necromancer dwells and uses undead to repel the trout folk. They've been at a stalemate for the past decade or so. Additionally, of course, there are all the trout folk, sort of traders, if you will, those who are loyal to the queen, who have descended into the dungeons, into the caverns below, where you all know a portal to the Feywild exists. That is where your friends Pinalero and Elio have come from. So, what are you guys doing over that week? Sort of, what are you trying to do while you're in the castle? How about you, Callie? What are some things that you'd be trying to get done?
Well, besides hanging out with Rimpy and teaching him some new like cartwheel type tricks, he's very agile. I will probably be trying to perfect my magic that allows me to disguise myself as similar looking creatures.
Nice.
I'm going to use Ziganute as my muse
Ooh.
and attempt to look like a very small Quotoa with my magic.
Nice. Yeah, let's take a look at Ziganute again.
I want that imposing stature.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but if you can pull it off, well worth it.
I think I'll have learned a little bit of some pretty solid spell casting to disguise myself as a Quotoa by the time we get done.
Nice. Yeah, totally. And what about for Alaron? What's he sort of doing once he's back to the land of the living?
Breathing once again. I think he's going to want to discover the parts of the castle that we haven't been to yet, other than the necromancer's tower.
Yes, that is a great point. And so let's do that now. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the ground floor of the castle once again, so you can see it. One moment, please, as we get y'all there. Our viewers can see it. Let's get you guys there as well. And so the ground floor of the castle, you basically have been able to explore fully now. The part that was unknown to you, Alaron, was sort of the front gate, the Barbican gate, if you will. And you should all be able to see that now. This is a fortification where there's only one sort of, this is the exit and entryway. It was probably the original sort of main entry and exit way. It's a two-story sort of gate tower that is at the end of a long covered hall. Basically, it's almost like a killing field enfilade, if you know that word. I don't say it very well, but uh, basically, this seems like where forces would be repelled who made their way into the Barbican Gate. But yeah, there are five towers. There is the sort of barracks tower up here. There was the Queen, or excuse me, this is where Ziganut's forces have been making their home in the sort of the priest's tower. This is the Fey Tower over here. This was the tower that you all came into through, rather, which is a ruined tower. And then there was the Trout Queen's Tower, which has sort of been taken over now by your group, and you're sort of staying there. One thing that you discovered in the top of the Trout Tower, Alaron, and all of you, was Lord Sage Glitterdark, the dwarf.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, not only him, but a number of what looked to be sages and other learned people. All they all seem to have had part of their souls captured and put in these mirrors. Uh, the others are so far gone though that it's almost like they're shades of themselves. And the thing that they're all doing up there is that they are working on a intricate magical machine, an arcane sort of eldritch machine that seems to be connected to those satellite dish like protrusions that are on the top of this tower. Um, uh, Glitterdark is freed once you destroy that mirror, and is very thankful, telling you that they had been charged to try and find a way to bring the castle back up above the waters.
Hmm.
We'll go into more of that a little later. But Elio, anything that you're trying to do during the downtime?
Well, bringing the castle up is my directive, but I think what's really weighing on Ilio right now is being so far from the light of the sun and kind of trying to seek a way to reconnect with it spiritually, if not physically. So I was wondering, one of the spells I want to try to cast a bit is augury, and I was
Yes.
wondering if I could. You basically during this week he's going to attempt to craft some kind of divining symbol for that. He's going to use pieces of the magic mirrors he found to mosaic together with some of the gems into this little sun icon that he's going to try to consult the reflections of the flames for guidance.
Yeah, I
And
love
he's
it.
going to constantly stand over Lord Glitterdark and the rest of the sages and attempt to give them the best advice he is able uh, about no, pull that lever or try that one. And it's going to be extremely annoying for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like he helped, and that's important.
Definitely. The augury um, is oddly leading you to the Fey Tower. The Fey Tower is the tower that has the least amount of muck and silt on it, and the light that filters from the sun through the lake, the Glimmer Lake, does reach this tower. So you have been able to sort of go to this tower, though you're warned not to go to the second or the third levels of this tower. So you're sort of more in the first level. You maybe walk up the stairs a little bit and try and angle your a holy symbol, your divining symbol, to try and catch some of the lights or rays, these very weak rays, these glimmers of the sun. But it does feel as if you are connecting uh, in a way with your deity that you haven't before. That somehow you are closer to them. It does feel odd. It gives you this feeling where it's like you're sort of chomping at the bit, where you're like, oh man, I'm so close. Like how I need to get out of here. Like I think that might go into why you're trying to get the sages to do their job as well. Ziganu, what are you up to during the week?
I think more than anything, trying to make sure my people kind of rest into their new tower, their new tower as good as possible. Um, and I think looking for anything because I'm assuming I haven't been here in a very long time.
Been where's that? Been where?
In the castle that is now ours, the tower that the deal that we made.
Yeah, I mean, you have been living in this castle for the past, 20 years or so. So yeah, you've been here.
Oh, okay. So the deal that we made with
Mm-hmm.
that my people made
Yep.
just for this very tower.
Yep. That's right. So that once, yeah, that's yours. That it is yours.
Okay,
Graciously allow you to stay.
to stay at our own home.
Yes.
I guess I'm sort of doing some praying, trying to contact the Ancient One and ask, how could this have been possible with the Trout Queen? After all this time, I was once a follower of hers.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just sort of meditating.
I there is something that comes from your meditations. It's not exactly a verbal response, but it's something that starts to occur to you as you go sort of deep into your sort of meditations after long days of helping get your people settled and sort of healing sort of the wounds not only of their bodies but of sort of their souls as well, or their spirits. It's been traumatic to sort of have your people split in almost half. I mean,
Right.
a sizable chunk of them have now left and gone below. You're not really sure what's going on down there. They were leaderless when they left, uh, but luckily your people, the followers of the Ancient One, do have a strong leader in Ziganut, and so the the, the feelings that you're getting after these long nights of prayer and meditation are that your people got caught up in a conflict between the Fae, and any way you slice it, it's really the Fae that have betrayed you to some degree. Though, in an odd way, the Fae have also helped you. So they sent this holy man Elio to help cleanse the castle. So you're getting the feeling, Ziganut, that path is a righteous one, to continue cleansing this castle, or making it a place where there is less danger for you and your people. Um, Taking, yeah, more ownership to some degree. Cool. So as we pick up, the four of you are in the Trout Queen's, or ex Trout Queen, as it were, in her throne room, which has now sort of been converted into sort of your war room or your headquarters. I'm going to go ahead and change the map for us so we can look at the third floor of the whole thing, because that's sort of where you guys are going to pull up after sort of. Whoops, you don't want to see that. Let's reveal this guy. So this is sort of the top of the tower. Uh, this is sort of where Glitterdark has been stationed. He comes down to the sort of the second floor where you guys meet up with him, which I want to show you next. So you can see all the castle. We're just going to reveal all of it, you guys. Woohoo! And so here's the second level that you can all see. And on the second level, this is sort of where the chambers of the Trout Queen and her bodyguards were. Some very fine sort of underwater goods were here, different lotions and oils, different types of sort of makeups and sort of goods like that. Very fine, the finest sort of like elven bed and sheets and sort of things like that. Those items that were left over from the previous owners were brought here. And so the four of you are there with Glitter Dark, and you are sort of determining what the next steps are. Glitter Dark is saying, I'm sorry, my friends. I do not believe I can raise the castle. It just cannot be done.
What? Why? Aren't you good at magic?
Uh, yeah,
Did they
I,
sell me a broken castle? Go on.
it's it is a problem with the magic. I this is everyone make an insight check as he's sort of dissembling and sort of having trouble speaking.
Ooh, I rolled really well.
Nice. What'd you get, Callie?
Well, I got a 22.
Nice. That's really good. Uh, and how about for you, Alaron?
I got an 8.
Okay. And for Elio?
I rolled badly and got a 10.
Ooh.
And an 11 for
A
me.
lemon.
A lemon.
So here's the rule, Jesse.
Uh-huh.
With the lemons, you can succeed on this roll, but you will be at disadvantage on your next roll, whatever it is.
So can I ask just really quickly?
Yes.
Are they talking about my castle?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to succeed on this roll.
Awesome. You do succeed. You guys, those of you who succeeded, which are Callie and Ziganute, you two get the sense that Glitter Dark it's tough. He's very proud, and it's tough for him to admit that he's out of his element a little bit. Elio and Alaron, you two chalk it up to sort of dwarven stubbornness that as he continues and sort of says, the magic isn't working. As I said, I will not be able to rise it. The poor sods who have been captured here, they are not long for this world. I do not think that they will survive a journey above. It's possible that something is missing from the machine, a component that might be needed.
Would we be able to identify this component?
Can we make a new one?
It is a Fey construction.
I know some Fae.
Yes, it is difficult. And a certain energy must be corralled and then used almost as a powering force.
Well, we could just steal it from whoever has it. That's what I suggest.
Yes.
Was it one of you who took it? And I looked suspiciously around the room.
Lord Glitterdark, we have much to discuss with you. Perhaps we take a rest and let you know why we're here. We must be curious.
I've had enough resting. Let's go.
Yes,
Where
let
is
us discuss why you are here.
Yeah, Alaron, you tell him. And I'm kind of like,
Well then,
Ziganute's kind of walking toward you, Alaron, a little bit more steadily, looking at you in the eyes.
Halloran is curious, but doesn't really know what to make of Ziganute staring him dead in the eye. He drops his pack and goes into it looking for something, and pulls out a piece of paper, a parchment. You see, look at it, Dark. We were sent to find you to identify this. And I open it and I hand it to him.
He sort of looks around confusedly, Lord Sage Glitterdark is a older dwarf. He does have silvery gray hair, a big sort of buffonti beard, and mustaches. His hair also sort of comes up in a sort of a bouffant itself. He is wearing studded leather scholar's robes, like a sort of a mixed together armor and robe sort of combo. He also has sort of like this sort of popped collar. He has really large hands that have many rings on them, mostly bands, though one or two that have stones inlaid in them. And he is wearing very fine dwarven boots as well. The color of his robes are sort of a plum color, and he has sort of gold accents as well. And he sort of stroking his silvery gray beard, uh, and says, "An ancient document to say the least. I can't believe it's this is authentic. No, this cannot be."
It was received. It was excavated from the mines themselves.
The corkscrew mines, a legend amongst my clan. You found them. How can this be? What do you want from me?
You see, we were hired to find you to authenticate this, so that the adventurers who found it wish to claim it.
And his brow sort of furrows. Oh, that is quite a load to drop on someone. To authenticate, we must return to Hammerfast.
That's what they said to us too.
So how may we assist in getting this castle up?
We have to find the thingy.
We have to find a thing.
The thingy.
Yeah, it was some kind of magical doohickey, an arcane thing. I couldn't follow the details, but we need it.
Well, this looks of
Someone
fey.
else has it.
This contraption seems of fey origin. Perhaps through the portal we can find someone who knows something about this.
Except the basement's filled with trout. No offense.
Offense taken.
You hate these guys too.
But they are my people, nonetheless.
I'm gonna slink up behind Ziganute while he's talking and then like poof and like become like a tiny version of him, but with Glitterdark's like sweet robery. And so I'm gonna be like imitating them as they're speaking, practicing my vibes.
Nice.
Important question. Have I seen you do this before?
Probably not. No, you might have this week. This week I've been creeping around behind Ziganute doing this like around corners and stuff.
Okay, so I don't think that you've secretly been a trout in disguise this entire time.
And the illusion is a little flimsy. Like if you touch it, you can just put your hand right through it.
Yeah, my insight's not that horrible.
So
Okay.
you've been following me all week doing this?
Around the corners and things as you've been like praying with your gods have been like just spying.
Have I noticed this at all?
I don't know. I'm trying to be stealthy. But right now I'm just like silently pontificating behind you. I'm just
So
practicing.
when you take this castle, you will leave our tower and my people be.
Yes.
To whom was that directed?
All of you. To you
Okay,
outsiders.
Okay, well, please, in the future, direct such things to me. I am the rightful lord of this castle. They are assistants, and that other thing with the paper, something. A mine? I don't know. Yes. As per our deal, you
Yes.
and your folk shall be free to use the tower, and come and go as you please, and long and prosperous relationship between our people, etc., etc. Rest of the castle belongs to the Fey Court and me, its duly appointed representative, cleric of the sun, Elio the Illuminator, the blessed, to whom the truth is revealed via the sun's searing heat, etc., etc.
Yes.
I can't believe it's the fifth time I've had to repeat this.
I'm going to write it down for us.
Your title is particularly long. No offense.
So yes, and I change it every time. I mean, it changes based on the divine whims of the sun. Can we go?
Well,
Where's the thing?
we must find. I'm gonna pray.
Who is this next? Who is this one?
I'm I'm just gonna stare him in the eyes with the frozen expression of drama.
He who was once stone but is now not again.
Thank you for that, by the way. I do appreciate not being stoned for the rest of my existence.
We appreciate it too. I got stabbed a lot while you weren't there to get stabbed for us.
I don't get stabbed that often. I'm usually stopping the stabbing.
Well, yes, but I was stopping it with my physical
Torso.
form. It wasn't great.
Wait, I just realized something. Where's Snorri?
Oh. I dropped the illusion spell.
Oh.
I see.
Ziganooch, did any of your people see what happened there? Your acolytes seem to have some ability to perceive the ghostly doings of ghostly folk.
No, it was unclear. It was ethereal and messy. It was hard to explain.
He's gone. He made a noble sacrifice to save all of us, and I guess the entire Trout Nation as well.
He was scared about losing his second life. I hope.
But we don't know he's gone. He's just not here.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah, maybe he just floated away somewhere. I'd like to think he floated away.
I would like to know where he was. I would think that he would tell us if he had the ability to do so. Perhaps we will see him again.
Yeah.
Perhaps he was simply spirited away to some corner of the ethereal plane. No spirit pun.
So, Elio, you come from the Feywild, you say?
Yes, I came from the basement, in fact.
Do you think perhaps you know anyone who might be able to ascertain the origin or the makings of this contraption?
Perhaps. It is a bit of a trek back down there. And again, if there's an entire nation of fish deserters squatting down there, we might have better luck finding elsewhere. Besides, and I hold up my mirror of augury, the signs have been pointing towards that glimmering tower. I wonder if perhaps that which we seek might be found there. And I'm not only using that as an excuse to perhaps smite some undead, because I really hate the undead. No offense to the dear departed Snorri.
Okay.
Glitterdark interjects, saying, "Yes, my friends. I believe there will be more information in that tower. They are saying it's some sort of necromancer making their home there, but I suspect it's a fae that's been there, living in this castle for hundreds of years, maybe even once ruled the castle. Who knows? Or some powerful fae wizard who's been hanging on, hoping that they would be able to take control of the whole thing once again."
A squatter in my castle?
Elio, I think we might have better chance of diplomacy if you don't tell him that you're the owner.
Diplomacy with a necromancer?
We don't know him yet. Perhaps he might be willing to talk.
I would like to see what valuables he owns temporarily until I own them. We should go talk to him. We should go talk to this guy.
Know that I will not hesitate to act if he tries to employ any of his infernal arts against us.
I don't expect you to hold back if that's the case.
No. Rimpleton will not hold back as well, so we're safe. We're safe.
Lord Sage says, "If anybody in this castle has any information about, what can I call it, primal orb, something like that, some sort of powerful, focused energy, could be anything, dragonfire, anything that can be captured, the soul of an elemental, anything, but it must be something powerful, captured, and then reset into the arcane, the eldritch machine."
So something glowy.
Hmm.
I don't know many things about the finer workings of magic, but I know glowy. Light and sparks everywhere.
Ah,
We shall find this holy relic of whatever and return it to you.
I.
And once again, soar into the above the water light of the sun.
If it hasn't been found in the castle already, it's probably in the Fate Tower, or perhaps below in the catacombs, the tunnels.
No time to waste then. And I turn and immediately leave the room, even though obviously there's still a conversation going on.
Yeah, as you do, Glitterdark sort of says, "Oh, and I had some bodyguards with me as well. Have you seen any of them?"
Body. What'd they look like?
All dwarves. You seem to have a dwarf with you, a man Snorri. That's a dwarven name.
Oh, there was one. He turned out to be an evil jerk who tried to kill us with a. Do you was
Hang
did
on, was Snorri one of your guard?
No, no.
So
That's an older name.
were you just assuming that all dwarves knew each other and that they could talk to each other?
can't they?
Well, I'm just wondering if you're looking for these fellows. Never mind. How long ago was it that you came down here before you were captured in that foul sea hag's workings?
It's been about a month now.
Did you have
Well, we will keep an eye.
well Yarrow? Did you know that guy? Did you know Yarrow?
Blackhammer. I was one of my bodyguards.
So he turned out to be like some kind of like undead crazy guy, and he tried to like kill us. And I thought he was nice for like the whole time, but then I don't know, he basically tried to kill us.
Make a persuasion check, Callie.
I got where are you, persuasion? Oh, I got 13.
Nice. He nods. Undead. I don't understand. He was a zombie, a skeleton.
Here, look at this. And I unbuckle some armor and I show him this huge necrotic scar from where his hammer hit me. It's like,
Nice.
yeah, that was him. He was a cleric of Orcus, that foul demon of the undead.
Morden's
Devils.
beard.
We should have noticed it earlier. What with all these skull symbols all over his armor, but he didn't have his armor when we found him.
He's a trusted man. He had been acting as a guard in Hammerfast for a year before I took him on as a bodyguard. That is very, very troubling.
But he fooled us too for a little while.
What were the names of your other bodyguards?
There were three others, and they were called Hela, and there was Rums, and then finally Dorn, named after the god.
I kind of lean over to Zinganut and I say, did you and your fellows not eat some dwarves?
It might have come to pass.
Maybe choose better phrasing.
I'd rather not speak of it in front of this dwarf.
Understandable. We will maintain our secrecy and quietude.
Thank you, Faye.
Dark is looking at you guys like point blank. You're all sort of in this small room talking, and he's just sort of looking at you, oddly whispering. And he sort of says, I do not have any ill will towards your people, Ziganut. I will wish to only leave this place. And but the reason I came originally, you asked why we chose to come. We wish to make an alliance with the power here in the castle. It seems you and your people maybe are now the power here.
Well,
Yes, yes, it is our people. We are the power. In a sense, we have a new power thanks to these friends I've made, but there is great unknown power in what we worship, the Ancient One.
He nods at that. Yes, the ancient one, the god you follow.
Uh,
It's a big
I've
trophy.
made a study, and he says there are many representations of the ancient one. But yes, a turtle, of course. Much more than that, though.
oh, much more.
Perhaps, perhaps if that is the power you are drawing on, it will help. Uh, we, I would speak more of this with you, uh, but I, I must return to the surface with my saviors.
Okay, you could have said that more convincingly. But we're gonna go find your orb, and then I will give you free passage from my castle and maybe a gift bag or something, depending on what's round up.
Gift bag. I step closer.
He nods and says, "I am already in your debt, all of you,
Hmm.
and I help me, and you will have a friend in the Lord Sage of Hammerfast."
Indeed, all shall eventually see the light of the sun, and I will send some pamphlets with you when you go.
I give my arm out to Lord Glitterdark.
Yeah, he stands almost basically sort of where your chest starts, where your sort of where your sternum is, but he definitely sort of takes your hand and he sort of takes it in a warrior's handshake, where he grasps your forearm and sort of shakes your hand, and he says, "We have much to discuss once we are on the surface."
Agreed. Well then, should we make haste to the tower?
He says, "Aye, perhaps that would be helpful. I perhaps can help you with something." And he pulls out what seems to be a very utilitarian, though well-made dwarven dagger. And he sort of offers it towards your group and says, "This blade is enchanted. Perhaps it will help you cut through that which is hard to penetrate."
Does it?
Mm,
I lean toward it. I'm like, what is
Kelly?
this? Does anyone else know how to use these?
I think we all know how to use a dagger,
mean- Yeah, it's a dagger.
but you're welcome to it.
I do some tricks with it. I'll keep it safe. You can borrow it if you want, though. I'll share.
Sure.
This time. Only because I like
No
you.
need for such simple tools. I am guided by a higher power, literally higher, up at the top.
I'll replace my dagger, which is, to me it's about the size of a short sword, and I'll thank Glitterdark. Thank you. I'm not gonna lose it, and if I throw it, I will go get it back. Wait, is
Magic,
this?
doesn't it come back?
Does it come back? I'm gonna throw it.
Only one way to find. Yeah.
What are you throwing it at, Callie?
What? I'll throw it at the wall, but definitely past Elio because I want to. I want to see if I can I just gotta practice my aim. So,
Yeah, totally.
I've got this kind of halo hoop around my head for my armor. You can try to get it through that.
yeah, totally. That's what I'm doing.
As it goes through the halo hoop and strikes the wall, it does disappear in a flash of purplish magic and return into your hand.
Excellent.
Kelly's really happy.
I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tuck it back in and nod.
Nice. Yeah, he also sort of takes off his his cloak as well. It's a purple sort of half cloak, I guess, almost like a cape, and offers that, saying, "And this cloak will protect any who wears it. He sort of is offering it in your direction, Alaron, Elio.
Alron,
I will accept.
go ahead.
I will accept your fight.
It clashes with my color scheme.
I'll accept your gift. Thank you.
Yeah.
Plum and bright red.
He hands it to you, but oddly, he then takes off one of his rings. It has a ruby on it and is gold, and he hands it to you, Elio,
Now that's more like it.
saying,
Ruby.
"A ring of shielding. Should any wizards cast magic missiles at you, you will be protected."
Sounds good. This guy's supposed to be a wizard, right? In the tower? Bad wizard. My ring now. I'll bring it back maybe.
Awesome. So, well equipped. You guys seem ready to head off for the Fey Tower. Is there anything else you'd like to do before doing that?
I would like to see if any of my people have ever ventured, any of the children, anyone far enough to know anything about this tower, including, not only kids, but just anyone that has ever made their way there.
Yeah, your warriors who worship the ancient one, they were charged by the Trout Queen to guard the tower and basically continually throw themselves against the undead there. That had the double effect of weakening your forces, Ziganute,
Right.
so that the Trout Queen could continue to control everyone. And it also kept the pressure on the necromancer in the tower.
Right.
So you are pretty familiar, actually, with what's going on in the second level. It's brutal. Your people have reported that necromancer has some sort of undead warrior lieutenant, who is a fierce combatant, and they usually lead the zombies, which seem to be the favored type of undead this necromancer creates. At first, they were like elven zombies and fey zombies, but after a while, it was your own people.
Right.
Trout folk zombies being thrown back at your own people. So they were having to face the scales of their friends and comrades in arms. It's been pretty vicious and brutal. But over the years, it's sort of settled into a stalemate where it's like more of a ritualistic thing where it's like, okay, it's the high moon, time to attack, like that sort of thing. So it's the death has been less, but it still has been pretty vicious every time. So that's what's on the second level, vicious death.
We must beware of the vicious death on the second level.
The Trout Queen mandated that sharks that your people know how to control patrol the outside of the tower always. So because there are actually ways to like entryways in that third level to swim in and out. It seems the Fae specifically created this tower to work well underwater or above ground, like it was an airy when it was above ground where flying creatures could like land and fly into, whereas now that it's underwater, it's more of like an easy way to get into the tower by swimming it. But through again your people's death, that all of the entryways are magically warded, so that if any of your people go through, they automatically die.
Damn.
But the Trout Queen's answer was to then encircle it with sharks, so no one could ever leave. So it's just sort of
But I do believe that we might have a better chance of going in from the outside.
No, you think anyone who goes through those warded portals will die immediately.
We'll just die. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only entry that other entry you're aware of is the stairs that go from the second level to the third level.
So through the meat grinder.
Through the meat grinder. That would be right.
Hey, let's go kill someone dead. Elio wants to.
Let's case the joint. I'm in.
Cool. So your group is pretty prepared. You head towards the Fey Tower, the four of you, and as you sort of start to head into that bottom level, uh, what is your party marching order? Who's generally in the front, middle, and back?
I'll take the lead.
I'm gonna
I'll be
go.
right second to try to puff out my chest as we walk past any other trout folk.
Yeah.
Cool. I may take up the rear just to sort of keep an eye on our backs.
Great. Awesome.
I'll be in the
So
middle, heal all them from there.
perfect. Yep. And so, Alaron, you start going up the stairs. Are you just marching up the stairs? How? What is your sort of demeanor and?
I'm
stance?
sneaking up the stairs,
Awesome.
looking to see if there's any traps or bodies on my way as I walk.
Cool. Awesome. Then, at this point, could you please make a stealth check for me?
I sure can.
And then could you also then make an investigations check? And
My stealth.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. My stealth is a 15, and my perception is a 7.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely. Is anyone else trying to sneak, or are you guys all just sort of following him?
I'm gonna hold up until I hear word from him once he checks out the stairs.
Cool. Got it. Yeah.
I
so
am
you-
on fire.
Yes, you are on fire.
Yes, you are.
You don't. You don't see any. You don't see any traps or wards on the stairs, Alaron. And as you sort of quietly get up to the second level, you're happy for your elven heritage, which lets you see in the dark that's up here. It is not lit otherwise. It must be nighttime up above in the world. The sun is not letting any light down at this point. But you're able to look around, and basically, you don't see any corpses. It's just an open stone room. There are some faded murals, though it looks like a lot of them have been torn off through violence or sort of through what's the best way to put it? Through like blood splashing on them and like toxicity, like just peeling off. But from what you can tell about the murals, it looks like that this may have been a host tower. It seems like there are many beds. It seems as if there are feasts, that sort of thing going on here. That it's more of a place to rest and relax. A lot of wine being served, that sort of thing. You also, though, do see across the way, probably about 40 feet away from you, are stairs that spiral up to a third floor. I'd also love for you to make a perception check at this point, please.
That's 12.
Cool. Yeah, that's basically what you see. You also see what you think may have been like the glow lamp, at the top of the ceiling, the stone ceiling. It's just sort of inert. It's really large. It's sort of it's about the size of what's the best way to put it? Maybe like a haystack. Like it's big, but it's not lit anymore, and it looks weird. Like it's maybe was broken or shattered or crumpled or something like that.
Okay. I take a couple steps down and I alert everyone that the coast is clear, but we should move ahead as silently as possible.
Okay. I'll try to get stealthy then.
Cool. Everyone can make a stealth check. Who would like to?
Let's see.
You want us saying in order, Ken, or just whenever we know?
Yeah. Just what's yours, Ziganut? What'd you get?
21.
21. Nice. And for
Yes,
Elio,
yes.
what'd you get?
I have disadvantage because of my armor and rolled 2 5s,
Nice.
so I have a total
A
of 5.
5.
Also, I don't want to point too much, but
Yes,
Ziganut does have
I
disadvantage.
do.
because of
Yes,
its light.
exactly right. So 15.
Yes, 15. And how about
Thank you.
for Alaron? We'll keep your last roll, but for Callie, what'd you get?
13.
13. Thank you. So the 4 of you are sneaking up there. If you don't have dark vision, you cannot see up here. It is dark. Whereas in other different places in the castle, small sort of fey flames are still flickering. Um,
I will note I am on fire, so there is a light source.
that is a good point. So I apologize. There is that you are on fire. So it's a dim light that you can all sort of see by. So my apologies. You can see by Elio's flame. As you all sort of get up there and you see what I described before, remember Alaron was seeing things in black and white, Chiaroscuro with his dark vision, whereas now with the bright light, or at least the dim light, you're able to see color and able to see a little bit more clearly. You can see that there are old blood stains all over the ground here, all the walls. You see the murals I described, but it looks like weapons have hacked at the stones, at the walls of this place for a long, long time. This place is destroyed. If there were furniture here, if there was furniture here at any time in the past, it has been smashed to flinders at this point. Also, I do just want to take this point to thank everybody who's watching us. So thanks everybody if you're tuning in on Twitch or on YouTube. We love you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yay.
And keep on watching. You're also able to see a little bit more clearly now that glow lamp that I was describing. And it is weird because as you guys are looking up at it, it begins to move around like this, like rotate, and its outer shell, if you will, seems to have been crumpled or pockmarked somehow, and it's not even. It doesn't even look like stone. It just looks like a weird grape or something like that. It's just like bumpy, and it is rotating towards you. And as it does, you can see that there is a huge eye on it and a big mouth and all these eye stalks that come down as an undead zombie beholder reveals itself. And we all need to roll initiative at this point.
Bad news. Oh, I'm lucky. I rolled a 1,
You are lucky.
but it's not really an ability check, is it?
It is.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Yes, it's a dexterity check, technically. Yes, it is.
Uh-huh. I re-rolled it.
Nice. Cool. What did you get, Elio?
18.
Awesome. And for you, Alaron?
16.
Nice. And for Callie?
24.
Nice. And Ziganute?
A 5.
Mighty 5.
Mighty 5.
Awesome. All right, Callie. You have initiative. What would you like to do?
I am deeply surprised, for I have never seen an undead thing, including a beholder like this. And I'm going to bust that dagger out.
Great photo of one right here. Zombie beholder.
It's so intense. And
Yeah. What Elio thought was a glow sort of lamp, in fact, is a huge zombie beholder that sort of turns around and is now looking at all of you.
I am going to say, I really hope this works, and throw the magic dagger right at that eyeball.
Make your attack, please.
Let's see. Do I know anything? Did I discern the nature of this dagger at all? I guess not, huh?
No, you haven't really attuned to it, if such a thing. You get the sense that it is enchanted and that it will return to your hand if you throw it.
Sweet. So I get a normal +8 on this, and I rolled a 1.
Oh, but you are so lucky.
I am lucky.
But yeah.
Is that I forget what lucky. Okay, it's it's an attack roll. I can do it on an attack roll.
Yeah.
Not much better. I got an 11.
11.
11.
All right. So you know our rule. You want to take a disadvantage on your next roll, whatever it is.
Yes.
All right. You succeed. You will not do sneak attack damage, but you'll do regular damage. How much do you do? And add 1 to whatever you roll or your calculations, because you have a +1/+1 dagger.
Great. So then that would be 9.
9 total. Awesome. Yeah, your dagger sticks right into its undead eye, and it doesn't even seem to notice it, while your dagger disappears and reappears right in your hand. Any movement you would like to make at this point?
Is there any kind of cover in here? Or is it pretty obliterated?
No, as I mentioned, yeah. In this, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where you are here. In this chamber, there really is not any cover, and so as I mentioned, everything was sort of destroyed. So you guys are in this section up here, this G. That's basically where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of come up the stairs, and you can see that there are spiral stairs on the other side of the room. These squares themselves are like 10 feet or so.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna just prepare to dodge then, because I have no other actions I would take right now.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. I don't think you can. Is dodge not? It's not one of your cunning actions.
Oh,
Dodge
actually,
is-
it's not. No, so I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I don't really actually do anything.
Well, you throw your dagger from the back of the group,
Mhm.
and it reappears in your hand, and it's Elio's turn.
All right, I'm going to point my spear, and a bolt of light is going to shoot out of the head of my spear as I attempt to cast Guiding Bolt on
Oh,
it.
nice. Go ahead and make your attack.
So, flash of light streaks towards the creature. Now at level 5, my attack's +6, that's a 20.
That is totally a success. Now roll all that fucking damage. What is it? 4d6?
This is 4d6 radiant.
Radiant.
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh yeah. You hate
I
them.
generally don't like radiant. So that is 16 points of radiant damage. This
Nice. Yeah, it
glowing spearhead strikes into the center of it. Then there's this sort of halo of sunbeams kind of pointing directly at it, and whoever attacks it next has advantage on that one attack.
and that's when its mouth opens and it's all bah. It seems to be looking right at you, Elio. Like all of its eye stalks look at you as they're sort of sizzling as the divine energy is burning into it.
Foul creature!
And it is
Turn to dust!
Alaron's turn.
Is this creature in the air?
It is floating. It is floating 20 feet up. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Hovering.
I'm going to take out my light crossbow and take a shot at it.
Very good. Go ahead and make your attack.
Advantage.
With advantage. That's right. Oh, that's going to be a 20.
20 is a success. How much damage do you do with your light crossbow? Ba-ding!
I do. Oh, nice. Ghetto crit. I do 13 damage.
13. Nice.
Wait, sorry. Looking at the wrong bonus. I did 11.
11. Even better when you think about it.
Well, yeah.
I got 11.
The halo sort of shatters as the bolt thuds into it. That's it for that spell.
Indeed, a dagger stunk into it. A bolt is now sticking out of it. It's been singed by divine energy. It's still not bloodied, though, as it's sort of just hanging there in the air, just taking this punishment. It looks at you, Elio, and I need you to roll a d4 for me, please.
1d4.
Yes. All of its eyes turn towards you,
That is a 4, and I don't know if that's good or
and
bad.
but only one of them goes off. It seems to be some sort of ray that's shooting at you, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, not my best. That is a 2.
You take 45 force damage.
14, 5.
Whoa.
As you are struck by a disintegration ray.
I am unconscious.
You are.
Oh no.
Okay,
Yeah, as you just drop.
so I'm just, take the.
And not only that, but your armor is disintegrated.
Ah,
Oh.
I was wearing that.
Ew,
Indeed.
now you're naked.
I'm still wearing robes.
As you basically just are
Not a
dropped to the
savage.
ground by this thing.
What?
Yeah, one of its eyes basically sparks and then activates as a ray of disintegration explodes from it, striking Elio. Dropping. Ziganute, it's your turn.
Okay.
The beholder is just floating, just making that sound.
So I would like to grab my scepter and summon the power of my ancient one and cast a sacred flame.
Secret flame.
So it's a dex saving throw.
And what's the saving throw number?
It's 14.
That's a failure on my part. How much damage
Okay.
do you do?
We do 14 points of damage.
Awesome. With that, you bloody the creature as one of its eyes is basically burned off. It's burned by more. What does your magic look like, actually, Ziganute?
It's like a blue that you, as it's cast, you can almost see what looks like water flowing through it.
Yeah, awesome. And it's scalding the creature, almost like it's scalding water. And
Yes.
one of its eyes sort of basically is like sort of pops off in that scalding. Anything else you want to do, Ziggy?
That's gonna be it for right now.
Callie, it's your turn. What would you like to do? You see Elio on the ground, silent as he's never been silent before.
This is the first time. The glow from his armor must be pretty badly gone. I I am going to, while I like rear back to throw with my dagger, I'm also going to conjure a mage hand that zips the little potion of healing out of my pocket and floats it over to Elio and pops it in his mouth.
So that is a little too much.
Dang.
You can definitely get the potion with your mage hand and float it over there. If you want to use your action to put it in his mouth, you can do that. Or you can use your action to make an attack or do something else. You can definitely get the potion over to him as a bonus action. That's fine.
Maybe I should revive him instead of attacking. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll actually go over there then instead of attacking, and I will administer the potion to him.
Awesome. Roll 2d4 plus 2 as you pop one of your healing potions and pour it down his throat.
It's my only one. 3, 7. We'll share. 7, so it was plus 2, so 9.
I imagine you guys are having that conversation as Elio's waking up.
You owe me a potion.
Actually, I'm more worried about my armor and my cool flaming shoulder pads, which are now dust.
Oh god, I'm slapping him awake, and then so that was my action, and then I am going to. I can't really do anything else besides that, so I'm gonna take cover beneath Elio's body. No,
down next to him.
I'll just hit the deck. I'm gonna throw myself prone, so I think it's ranged attacks get disadvantage, right? If you're prone, that's what I'll do.
It is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to kind of stagger to my feet.
Yeah, the beholder is ichor starting to drop from it and just splash on the ground as it's sort of like really sort of torn asunder by that last sort of scalding attack by Ziganute, but it is still sort of and it stopped focusing on you, Elio, after your glowing armor has disappeared.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna make 3 quick stabs with my spear, and each one's gonna shoot out a flaming spearhead as I cast Scorching Ray.
Very nice. Go ahead and make your attacks.
3 attacks.
Armor class 15 is what you're looking for.
Okay, so I have a 14 and 2 much higher rolls.
Great.
So 2 hits. That's another 4d6 damage. This is another 16, distributed differently.
Nicely done. Cool. Yeah, it's just striking into it. The flames, it's scalding, sort of like scorch marks, like almost like carbon scoring. It's almost like, or it's just.
You're not the only one with burning rays.
And it's sort of like deep intonation. Definitely gets an octave higher, like basically, like it's obviously sort of unhappy with what's happening. Anything else you'd like to do, Leo, on your turn?
Can't also cast another non.
No, unfortunately not.
I will. I mean, I got to my feet and I see Callie's kind of lying on the ground nearby, so I'm just gonna try to get between her and the beholder with my shield up.
Nice. Yep. And don't forget to change your armor class with Elio.
Forgot about the name here, but
no problem.
I did it on my character sheet, but you can't see that.
I can see it in my mind. Alaron, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Lowly 12.
Is Beholder near a wall?
No, but it is near the ceiling, which is 20 feet up.
Yeah. Is there any like destroyed furniture or anything that might stack up or something?
No. Unfortunately not. This room is devoid of anything like that. It's been destroyed over the years that the battles have been fought here.
You can totally try to jump off my shield for a cool cinematic attack.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him to. I'm gonna get Elio to bend down. I'm gonna take a running start. I'm gonna jump, try and slash at the beholder.
Awesome. That's cool. I like it. Make an athletics check.
Parkour.
Yeah, basically. So you Spartacus jump off of Elio's shield,
And I got a 19.
19 is totally a success. How much damage do you do with your rapier as you Spartacus jump off of Elio's shield, stab your rapier right into the disgusting ball of putrid flesh that is the beholder zombie.
And I do 8 damage.
8 damage is great. Now can you make an acrobatics check for me, please?
Ooh, that's a 1.
Cool. You fall to the ground. And you take 8 damage as you hit the ground.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Nice trade.
That looked really. I'm just gonna sort of look at it. That looked really cool, though.
I do a tumble roll as I hit the ground.
Definitely.
Belly flapped.
I'm gonna end my turn with that action.
Tis just a scratch. Ziganute, could you please roll a d4 for me? As the beholder's eyes start to focus on you.
Don't roll a 4.
Hey, sorry, D4. A 2.
All right, very good. One of the eyes sparks, and this purpley wavy beam fires at you. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, please.
14.
Great roll. That's exactly what you needed.
Oh,
The
thank
beam strikes you, and for a moment, it almost feels like your mind is being overwhelmed, and like this sort of like animal panic is taking hold of you. It's sort of a state that your people. It's almost a dishonorable to be in this state where you like frenzy and go super animalistic, but you're able to stave it off basically, and not sort of have that take over, which you felt it rising. And it is your turn. What would you like to do, Ziganute?
Okay, so feeling that and feeling that moment of desperation of not wanting to enter this dishonorable state, I run forward with my scepter and I attempt a melee attack.
Are you trying to jump off of Elio's shield like Alaron did? Because the creature is about 20 feet up in the air.
Oh, then yeah, I think I have to.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check, please.
Yeah. Okay. 16.
That's good. That's good.
Why am I a footstool?
Yeah.
I just follow right after him.
Exactly.
That was extremely hurt. My entire skin is charred.
Go ahead and make your attack, Ziganute.
Okay. 14 to hit.
Nice. That is unfortunately going to miss.
Not nice.
Oh,
Yeah. 15 is the armor class. As you smack into it, but there's just not enough leverage behind your blow, and it sort of thuds and you fall. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check, please.
Okay, this is pretty good. We're looking at 20, not natural.
Oh, yeah.
Just 20.
That's great. You're able to land without any problem. Can you describe for us, like, what sort of, how's you like jump in the air, you thunk into it, and then you're like heading down like a 20-foot drop, basically.
I think it's just right onto both my feet. Just powerful swimming feet. Just bam, right onto the
God,
ground.
I thought you said you were going to land right on me.
Back onto the shield.
Landing pad.
Slam down.
Nice. Boom. All right, Callie, what's good?
Well, from the ground, I'm going to kind of like roll over and take aim at this crazy, disgusting monster. I am going to attack, but I think I have disadvantage because of the lemon.
I think you're right.
So let's try this. My low roll was it was still a 17.
Wow, dude. Well done. How much damage with the dagger?
With the magic, that was a
Magic dwarven dagger.
1 plus 6, so 7. 7.
That's good. Cool, yeah. It definitely sticks in it again and then reappears in your hand.
I'm going to stay prone.
And that's a big, and you're hitting it in the same place too. So it's like, it's just a big rent that you're opening in it. So Icar is sort of pouring out of a few different places of it at this point. Elio, it's your go.
Okay, I am going to. I think at this point I'm just going to cast another Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame.
My first Sacred Flame at level 5.
Yes.
Nice, double damage, double it as I totally fail. How much damage do you?
So do I roll double after I roll, or
No.
roll
You
again?
you just rolled 2d8, right?
Well, I normally roll 2 for
Yeah,
fifth
for
level,
being
right?
fifth
Yeah,
level. That's
right.
what I meant.
Okay, I thought you were saying I get some kind
But
of
no,
crit.
no.
Okay. So that is a nice 8 radiant damage as a holy.
Can you please describe for us how you
flame
defeat
shoots out
this
from us.
creature?
I think we just sort of see its kind of bulbous blank eye as this growing light reflects as it grows closer and closer and closer, and you can sort of see it burning from within, and then the kind of husk turns to dust, just like it tried to do to me, and just kind of disintegrates into flakes of ash as they fall to the
Nice.
ground. And then I just kind
Beautiful.
of sink to one knee, leaning on
Nice.
my spear, and just say, "Ow! Ooh, that stings."
I had to use my one good potion on you, Elio.
Glad you did.
Hey, hold out another potion to you. The very one's actually focused here.
I've already stolen it from you, so
Give me that second one back.
I give him the other one back. Oh no.
Also, one of those potions is a fire potion and one's a healing potion. Make sure you got the right one.
They look identical to me. I'm like,
Yes, I labeled them so you can tell with the Sega symbol of my order. Everything is labeled the flame.
here's a potion of the flame. And then,
But I heal with flame too. You know this.
oh. Well,
Okay. I see why your people don't go to this tower, Ziganute.
hmm.
It sucks.
Yes, that was quite the ordeal. That was
That was
You didn't get to say. I'm the only. I got almost murdered, and you guys are all fine.
Ziganute is just like walking around the corners of the room, just kind of staring at the blood stains on the wall.
Yes, I'm sure whatever comes next will be much more difficult.
As he
Are you
goes
sure?
staircase.
Of that, yes, I am certain.
ugh.
Okay. I would like to motion for a nap.
You guys can definitely take a short rest here if you would like to.
Mhm.
I need to spend some hit dice.
Go ahead and roll your hit dice. It's at this point that Rimpy comes up the stairs, blink, 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 and sort of looks into the room and scurries over to Callie.
Smart pig. I wouldn't have wanted to be here for that either. So,
And she nods at that. I know.
I will assuming this will make Elio feel better, although it probably actually won't. I'm going to deposit Rimpy in his lap and be like, "Listen, if you need to pet my pig, if it will help you feel better, I'm sure he'll let you."
I rolled quite badly, and I spent all my hit dice, and I'm still not quite up to full. But I am kind of absent-mindedly petting Rimpleton.
Rimpleton's gonna try to.
Gain a 1d6 more hit points because Rimpy is so awesome.
Emotional support.
He's so soothing.
Exactly enough to bring me back up to full. So.
That makes sense to me. And as you guys prepare yourselves to head up, we're going to have to end for the night. This has been a really great start for Chapter 3. Thank you for being
Speak for
here.
yourself.
I am. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. We really appreciate it. I am Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. You can find me at the website of the same name. I do concierge DM service as well as write adventures. Look me up and say hi if you get a chance. Maybe we'll play some D&D together. And I would love to introduce you once again to our fabulous cast. Thank you all so much for playing tonight. We'll see you guys again next week, Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for more Secrets of Hammerfast. Kelsey, where can we find more of you if we want to find what you're up to?
Yeah, you guys can find me. Best place is my website. I think it's thearcanelibrary.com. I just launched a free adventure that you can get by signing up for the Arcane Library, and it's a good intro to the Tomb of Annihilation. It's a first level adventure set in a jungle, so it's a good way to kind of throw people into Chult.
Nice, very cool. Thanks for that. Anthony, you've been playing Aileron. Where can we find more of what you're up to?
You can find me on anthonylelo.com, or you can find me on Instagram at I'll allow it. Allow spelled with E at the end.
Awesome, thanks. And it's good to have Aileron back. We missed you last time.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
be back.
and we also have Thomas now joining us as one of our core members. So happy to have you with us, Thomas. You really bring it. We love Elio, and I'm glad he didn't die tonight, sort of.
Yeah, don't take away my armor
I
though.
had to take away something. And
So harsh.
Yeah, like all my HP wasn't enough.
and where can we find more of you, Thomas, if we
Sure.
want to catch up with you?
I'm active on social media on Twitter. That's at Soul of Twit, TWHIT.
Awesome.
That's, I don't know. I post about post some drawings I do of various D&D and fantasy related stuff.
You posted a great drawing of Elio.
Dumb jokes, politics. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Maybe
And
I can try drawing the rest of the crew.
that would be great. That would be awesome. We would love that.
Maybe I'll start.
Anyone who wants to draw the crew or anybody that'd be awesome. And we have Jesse joining us as well, playing Ziganute. Jesse, sorry again that we had some technical difficulties.
Oh, that's okay.
You couldn't join us video, but your voice is beautiful, and we're so happy to have you with us. So thank you for playing Ziganute. Where can we catch up with you if we want to see more of what you're up to?
You can find me. A lot of what I post online is my music stuff on jrnarrows.com.
Perfect. And what do you mean by music stuff?
I work in film doing like film scores.
Oh, awesome! Yeah,
stuff like
right.
that. So
we can
yeah,
check out your film scores.
Yeah, it's not D&D related, but hopefully one day it will be fantasy film related.
Well, maybe we'll get some of your music on this stream at some point. In the
We talked
future.
about that. I think it's a great idea.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we hope to have you back. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. But until then, keep your helms on. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.